Rare earths, the hidden minerals that power our modern world. From electric vehicles and wind turbines to fighter jets, smartphones, and the advanced technologies that define global power, these resources have become the currency of influence in the 21st century. For India, the race is driven by necessity and strategy, a push to secure control over rare earth minerals and break free from China's near-total dominance, ensuring the country's technological and industrial independence. For Pakistan, the race is about survival and leverage, turning its mineral wealth into strategic partnerships with the United States and China, attracting foreign investment and charting a path out of crippling debt. Two neighbors, two rival visions, one high-stakes resource that could reshape their economic and geopolitical futures. One is buying, the other is selling, or rather being exploited. In this rare earth showdown, who will emerge as the dominant power in South Asia? Hello and welcome. You're watching Statecraft with me, Geeta Mohan. Rare earths are the hidden lifeblood of modern technology. They make our smartphones smarter, our electric vehicles faster, our fighter jets stealthier, and our energy grids greener. From magnets to missiles, from wind turbines to weapon systems, these minerals underpin the world's most advanced industries. And yet, access to them is anything but easy. China today commands near absolute dominance over rare earth mining and processing. By some estimates, Beijing controls more than 80% of the global refining capacity. This monopoly has given China immense leverage, the ability to turn the tap on and off, to reward allies and punish adversaries. So when China tightens exports, the world scrambles. And in this scramble, India and Pakistan have chosen very different paths.
China controls something like 70% of the world's rare earths, not just the resources, the mines, but also the refining processing capabilities. As Deng Xiaoping said famously in the 1980s, if the Middle East has oil, then China has rare earths. And this has happened this has come to fruition in Xi Jinping's tenure.
Let's begin with India. According to Reuters, New Delhi is working to obtain rare earth samples from Myanmar, not from the junta, not through traditional state-to-state channels, but with the help of the Kachin Independence Army, one of the most powerful insurgent troops in the country. India's Ministry of Mines reportedly asked state-owned and private firms to explore collecting and transporting samples from mines in northeastern Myanmar. These mines, critical for heavy rare earths, are currently under the control of the KIA. Among the firms involved, IREL, India's state-owned miner, and Midwest Advanced Materials, a private company that has already received government funding to manufacture rare earth magnets. The plan? To test the samples in Indian labs to see if they contain sufficient levels of heavy rare earths, the kind used in electric vehicles, wind turbines, and advanced weapon systems. This is not just business, this is geopolitics. India, the world's largest democracy, is turning to a non-state armed group in Myanmar to access a resource dominated by China, according to some reports. It is, by all accounts, a rare and risky move. The KIA has already begun gathering samples for India's analysis. They've also signaled readiness to assess whether bulk exports are possible, according to the report. It's worth pausing here, because this arrangement reveals the extraordinary pressure India feels under China's chokehold. Beijing has sharply restricted exports of processed rare earths to major economies this year, part of its escalating trade war with the United States of America. India has felt the pinch. The KIA, of course, is no ordinary player. Formed in 1961, it is one of Myanmar's most formidable rebel armies. After the 2021 coup that toppled the elected civilian government, the KIA has emerged as a bulwark of resistance against the junta. Last year, it seized the Chipwe-Pangwa mining belt, a region that produces the bulk of the world's heavy rare earths, including dysprosium and terbium. China has long sourced minerals from the KIA, but their relationship is strained. Beijing backs the junta as a guarantor of stability, even pressuring the KIA to step back in its fight over the strategic town of Bhamo. In response, the KIA is warming up to India. So India is betting on rebels and raw ambition. But what about Pakistan?
Chinese have had this relationship with the KIA over the last 20 years. And the Chinese have been taking rare earths from the KIA, from that place, for the last 20 years. And recently, there's been a fallout between the Chinese and the KIA over the KIA taking over some city in their area from the Tatmadaw, that is the Burmese or the Myanmar National Army. And based on that, I'm sure the KIA would have reached out to India to ask if we wanted the rare earths instead. Now, KIA is a non-state actor. So any kind of deal with a non-state actor is always going to be suspect. It's going to be suspect from the point of view of safety, of security, of ethical business standards, of situations. But the other side is, if China has been doing it, then why shouldn't India? Those are the main things. Now, the risks involved. In the KIA area, there is also the Three Brothers Alliance. There is the Chin National Army. There is the Chin International Army. There are 3-4 such insurgent groups of the Chins. There are insurgent groups of the KIA. There is the Tatmadaw. And there's a whole lot of other different insurgent groups, including Indian insurgent groups that are located inside Myanmar and operate from inside Myanmar into India. So we must take all these issues into account. We must make sure that whatever we're getting from the KIA has the legitimacy, one. It has the correct concentration of the rare earths that we need. That's the second issue. And the main issue is that, are we getting into a situation where we might come into a conflict with China inside Myanmar?
Across the border, Islamabad has chosen a very different path, one that runs through American investment and global capital. Pakistan's Frontier Works organization, the country's largest miner of critical minerals, signed a $500 million deal with US Strategic Metals, a Missouri-based company. The agreement? To collaborate on a polymetallic refinery in Pakistan. For Pakistan, this is more than minerals. It's about securing foreign investment, strengthening ties with the US, and finding a way out of a grinding financial crisis. So while India is experimenting with insurgents, according to some reports, Pakistan is banking on partnerships. Earlier this year, Sharif had claimed that Pakistan's mineral reserves were worth trillions of dollars. With foreign investment, he argued, the country could overcome its financial crisis and reduce its dependency on foreign loans. Most of Pakistan's mineral wealth lies in Balochistan, a region long plagued by separatist insurgency. Groups like the Balochistan National Army have fiercely opposed extraction by Pakistani and foreign firms. In fact, the US State Department recently designated the BNA and its Majid Brigade as foreign terrorist organizations. Yet despite the risks, global companies are moving in. Canadian firm Barrick Gold already owns a 50% stake in the Reko Dik gold mine in Balochistan. Let's take stock. India has turned to Myanmar's rebels. Pakistan has turned to Washington and Wall Street. Both strategies are fraught with risks. Both are laden with ambition. But who has the edge? On one hand, India's move shows boldness. Engaging the KIA demonstrates New Delhi's willingness to step outside the usual diplomatic playbook. It also shows urgency. India cannot afford to rely on China for minerals that power its ambitions in electric mobility, renewable energy, and advanced defense systems.
Everything really depends upon the rare earths. All our sensors, all our radars, all our magnets, all our systems, defense systems, all need rare earths now. And there is a rare earth monopoly by China, and China is not giving us these magnets. We have to get them. But where I would like to point out here is that if these rare earths are available in Myanmar, they would be available in our northeastern states also. Maybe we also need to increase and improve our mining capabilities, our purification capabilities, and our capabilities to convert these rare earths, because rare earths are maybe rare earths, but they are fairly abundant. We have to convert our ability to create these magnets to the rare earths that are available in India. We must search for these rare earths within India also, and not just take a shortcut by getting them from the KIA.
But the risks are real. Transport bottlenecks, logistical nightmares, and above all, the lack of processing capacity at home. Without scaling up refineries and high purity facilities, India may win the mines but lose the market. Pakistan's path is also treacherous. Balochistan remains unstable. Separatist attacks on pipelines, convoys, and foreign projects are frequent. Political volatility in Islamabad adds another layer of uncertainty, and critics question whether foreign deals will actually benefit ordinary Pakistanis, particularly Baloch people, or merely enrich the elite. It should also be noted that Washington's strategic interest in Pakistan is tied not just to minerals, but to countering China and balancing India. That bigger game, of course, involves the two giants, China and the United States of America. China will not quietly watch India diversify through Myanmar. Beijing has long relied on the KIA for rare earth supplies. Any shift toward India would threaten its dominance. Already, China has leaned on the KIA to step back from confrontations with the junta. If Delhi deepens its footprint, Beijing may respond with carrots or with sticks. The US, meanwhile, has placed its bet on Pakistan. Washington knows rare earths are a choke point in the tech war with China. By anchoring investments in Pakistan, the US secures an alternative source while strengthening a relationship it has called phenomenal under Donald Trump and strategic under Joe Biden. So the race is not just India versus Pakistan, it is also India versus China, Pakistan versus insurgents, and Washington versus Beijing. Whoever wins this race will not just power their own economy, they will shape the geopolitics of South Asia, tilt the balance of power between Washington and Beijing, and decide whether rare earths become a tool of leverage or liberation.
We've seen the US Department of Defense identifying rare earths as a critical national security need, and they are funding the creation of facilities to refine, to look for rare earths and to process it. And it's very likely that at the way things are moving, the way the EU has gotten into the act as well, identifying rare earths, this whole weaponization of rare earths by China is having huge downstream effects. And very surely India is also looking at protecting its own access to rare earths, and it is actively scouting for locations where it can source rare earths independent of China's stranglehold on the global rare earth supply chain.
In the mountains of Kachin, rebels are digging samples for India. In the deserts of Balochistan, American investors are setting up refineries for Pakistan. In Beijing, policymakers watch closely. In Washington, strategists calculate. And across South Asia, a new rivalry is taking shape, one that may define the region's future not in bullets or ballots, but in barrels of minerals, in grams of terbium and dysprosium, in the dust of mines that most people will never see. Rare earth minerals are no longer a hidden treasure. They are the front line of a new strategic rivalry. And as this race unfolds, one question will echo louder than the roar of any parade or the signing of any memorandum. Who will lead? Because in this race for rare earths, there won't be a silver medal, only dominance or dependence. Thank you for watching Statecraft.